and your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200-something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer and explorer. Going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind. Talking about Justin Bieber.
How are we looking? Hello out there. We're on the frickin' air, my friends, my family, my brothers, my sisters, Manillas. Let's get settled in here today. Haven't worn my black hat for a while. Oh my God, that's a nice hat. Okay, happy Friday, folks. Welcome back. Let's get these ducks shut off here. Quiet down, ducks. Be quiet. I see some action in the Rumbles right off the hop. Love to see that. We got a good crew over in Rumble today. Welcome to our friends on the YouTubes. Welcome to our friends on the Rumbles. And I don't know if we're on Zapstream. It doesn't look like it's working. But we got a couple things going on here. We got Jenny right off the bat. Hands off my sats. Jenny Legendary, birthday girl this weekend. Turning 41. Never would have guessed. Although I knew she turned 40 last year. So I probably would have guessed that. But happy early birthday to Jenny. I won't be doing a show on Sunday. I believe Sunday is Jenny's birthday. I got it in my calendar as such going forward. So Jenny won't be able to F with us anymore. Not telling us when her birthday is. But she bought a membership this morning. She gifted one subscription to 88 Sats Radio, and I don't know who the recipient was. I don't know if it's been claimed yet. So if you're watching this on Rumble this morning and you're not a redneck over there yet, all you got to do is say hello. And Jenny will purchase you a membership to be a redneck over on Rumble. So thank you, Jenny. Hot start to this Fat Zap Friday. It is Fat Zap Friday. We should play that song. Maybe we'll play that song today. We haven't for a while. Jenny Legendary. I don't know why I had to spell out legendary there. But she gave a memby, one memby, and $2. She said, feed the friggin' ducks, which means that Jenny is one zap away from Satoshi hat trick today on this Friday. The captain's here. Captain also sent in a $5 fiat zap. Thank you to our guy, Captain. Captain 173. My man. So thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Captain. Right off the hop. Good start to the show. Where do we go from there? Can only go down, I guess. But let's see who's here. Captain, first in the chat. Love to see that. Lots of stimulation on Fridays. So let's start the show today. Actually, let's start the show with a couple different things. Number one, let's start out by saying thank you to YouTube. Thank you to YouTube. Thank you to YouTube for helping me out for all these years. It was a very, very small channel for a very long time. And we organically caught some steam, and we haven't really slowed down since. Of course, the bear market's held us back a little bit. Our net subscribers, I was just looking at on YouTube. You want to see this? I don't know if I should show it or not. Because I'm trying to send some good vibes. I'm trying to give some good vibes to, I'll show you. I I get it, but I also don't get it. Like, how does something like this happen? Look at this. So I'm going to start giving a lot more love to YouTube. Of course, I'm very thankful and beyond grateful for those who are on Rumble. And we've been actually growing in a very good pace on Rumble. I'm going to give some shout outs here right away. But look at this. -7 in the last month. Tell me how that happens. Tell me how that happens. Oh, you can't even see it. -7 subscribers. And I'm not one who gets too caught up in the subscribers. In fact, I do my best to not make this grow too quickly because that's just the wrong way to do it, I think, anyways. I actually try to do the opposite. I usually try to filter out. And maybe that's the process here. Maybe that's what's going on. But -7, I noticed that this morning. I almost spit out my coffee. -7 in a month. Sweet month, sure. So I do want to say thank you from genuinely to YouTube, because none of this would be possible without YouTube. And so I want to be more focused around that aspect of it as opposed to being mad about things. So that's the first part here. Second one is I want to say a big thank you to all our new subscribers over on the Rumbles. We got Lagbo, we got C3474, Zebra Meat, DJ Selector Dicky, we got Sean 281, we got Meow Stong, Rico Yaya, Brilliant Insights, and Casca 762. Those are all our new followers over on Rumble. So we're losing in one side, we're gaining in the other, but overall, I'm very appreciative of both these platforms for allowing us to do this every day. Maybe someday they'll be a little bit more friendly to us, but probably not. And to start the Friday today, let's all take a collective deep breath together. You don't have to do it crazy. Just take a couple deep breaths. I always want to do this. I just never remember to do it. And so I figured this would be a good chance for us. Just right now, quick. Couple deep breaths. You'll feel instantly better. There we go. Give your little central nervous system a break. We could all use a little bit of that. Okay, so Captain's here. And you don't have to do it just when I do it either. You can take 5 if you want to. I'm just on a live stream right now, so I don't want to have 2 minutes of silence. Captain's here. Good morning, visionaries. Happy Friday. Well, the only thing worse than sneezing on a live stream is thinking the sneeze coming and never showing up. Sats and Sunsets is here. Okay, well, now I got to freaking blow my nose to get rid of that sneeze. Hold on. The people showing up. Where is he? Why is the screen black? Sats and Sunsets. The Smith is here. Good morning, Sats and Sunsets. Bitcoin Barber's here. Good morning, Bitcoiners. Good morning, Bitcoin Barber. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, Bitcoin Barber. I happen to notice you've been here quite a bit lately, frequently. I'm just going to throw this out there. You don't have to, of course, because I love both. But consider getting yourself a Rumble account and joining the rednecks over in Rumble. Bitcoin Barber. I'm going to start for the people who are usually here on YouTube. Bitcoin Barber, I think, would be a prime candidate to be a redneck. Earn the stripes. Spending the morning with the missus, so I can't stay. What the hell? Sats and sunsets. Are you kidding me? On Friday, you're going to spend Friday with the missus instead of with us. Have a good Friday, buddy. Have a good Friday and a great weekend. Scotty boy, is this the right place to get a secret mission? No, it's not secret. It's very simple. It's very simple, known, transparent mission. Destroy the central banks. Was someone breaking into this house here or what? What's going on back there? I see movement. Ralph is here. Says hello, visionaries. Good morning, Ralph. Ginger says hello. That's an uncharacteristics of Ginger. Hello. But then he says good morning. Jake's here, 21 hats. Good morning, Jake. Captain said, looking forward to this evening going fishing with my son. Nice. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. What kind of fish you catching, Captain? What kind of fish? Jenny, there it is right there. And it looks like it has been claimed. Styles Row Robert got the subscription from Jenny Legendary. So thank you, Jenny, and congratulations to Robert. Plebinator says, George, do you have Radar Chat? I don't. I haven't downloaded it yet because it's not available for Android. But I will be testing that out as soon as I can. Although I might even try just on my old iPhone here. Except a lot of the newer apps, because I'm kind of way out of date on my updates on here, that they don't work. So probably won't happen. But as soon as it's available for Android, I'm definitely going to be using Radar. Mark is here. 6'5" Sats. The boys. Bob and Stewie and Mark. Morning, Mark. Great to see you. There he is, Praetorian, with the birthday hangover today. How was the birthday? Oh, hold on. Hold the phones. You can download it through Zap Store. Okay. There you go. I should have known that. Jenny said, he said the missus is prettier than you. What? Jenny, you're supposed to be watching in the background. You're supposed to be working. I thought you were, now you're chirping me. Jenny, the birthday girl herself. What are we going to do with Jenny? Sketchucation's here. Good morning, Sketchucation. Praetorian says, thank you all for the birthday zaps. I think I sent you one, Praetorian. I think I sent you a birthday zap last night. I did. Captain says, was that your lightning address on Bitcoin Backpackers stream last night? Yes, that would be, there it is right there. If you want to give some love to our guy Praetorian, send him any amount. 67, 91 is his other number, it looks like here, 91. Don't send him 88 because then he'll mistake it for me. I already sent him a zap. But yes, there you go, Praetorian 67. If you feel like sending some birthday love to our guy Praetorian, I'll leave that up for a second. I'll leave that up for a minute here. Okay. Let's get to the mempool. Was I going crazy, or was someone in the background there? Okay, let's bring this up. Let's see where we're at on the pool. Get your swim trunks on. Get your bikinis out. Your keenies. Get the keenies on. All right, we're at the block height of 957. 437. 957, 437. Oh, you know what I was going to do? Shit. Let's check this out here. Zapstream doesn't appear to be working. We are not live on Zapstream. Why? I'm thinking we ran out of credits. We are out of credits. That is true. Okay, let's top this up. How do we do this? How are we going to do this? Let's do 1,000 today. Let's do 1,000. If someone can beat me to it with 1,000 sats, that is our Zap stream for probably a week. Nah, maybe less. Especially if we keep doing long freaking shows. Okay, so I'm going to use Zeus. Let's try this out. I love me some Zeus. Sometimes it doesn't work though. Let's try Zeus. Also, Zeus is good because it takes about 40 seconds to load here, which gives people 40 seconds to pay the QR code here. Starting my node. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to use Lightning. eCash hasn't been working for me on here for some reason. Might just need to update it. 1,000 sats, Lightning, pay. 1 sat for that. 1 whole Satoshi. Successfully sent. There we go. We're paid up. We should be live now on the Zap streams. Sorry, everybody. Edit. Take that off. Remove. Now we should be back. We should be back on the Zap streams now. Okay, let's check this out. Go back. No? Come on, Zappies. No. Why? Oh, no. Yep. Oh, is it us? Is this us? Or is this Elite Seal? Okay, so we're on there. Come on. How come it didn't work? What the hell? What the bloody hell? How come it didn't get my sats? Zeus said they sent. Okay, well, that's freaking strange. That's not ideal. Just lost 1,000. Look at this. Successfully sent. Okay, guess I just got ripped off. Got ripped off by Zapstream. I got rugged. Okay, what should I do here now? I don't have much on my wall to Satoshi. Sorry, folks. Let's try 420 here. I think I have 420 in my wall to Satoshi. This is the pains. This is the struggles. No, I don't even have 420 on there. Oh, Christ. Okay. Well, we got a lot going on here right now. Let's go like this. Let's receive. Oh, now it says it's no longer available in my region. What the hell is going on here? It's a zoo. Okay, receive. I guess I can't be in the US for this transaction. Okay, help me out here, folks. Help me out if you can. Send me some good vibes. I need it. Okay, amount. Let's go 5,000. Copy. I love Rizful, but Rizful, for some reason, I can't actually scan QR codes with it. That's my only knock at Rizful. I can't scan QR codes like this. Okay, let's try this. Send Lightning. Okay. Almost done. Okay, we got 5,000 sats. We got open. If I lose another 2100 here, oh, this is 420. Oh, well, let's just try this. Come on, Zapstream. Help me out here. Help me. Help me. Why aren't these coming through? Oh, that's frustrating. I sent 2 zaps and neither of them showed up in here. Fuck. Oh, are these from today? Looks like the people are zapping somehow. I don't know how, though, because we're not live. Anyways, I guess we got no Noster today. That's incredibly frustrating. But anyways, sorry about that, folks. Oh, well, Praetorian got lots of time on the screen there. Good. Don't know how to explain that. Kev says, morning redneck visionary duckers. Happy Friday. Yay. Amen to that. Redneck visionary duckers. Bitcoin Barber said, I remember the first time I read the white paper, I had an immediate comprehension that Bitcoin was created to take down all central banking systems. It was self-evident. Heckin' right. Yeah, that's a little bit what I want to talk about today is you know, just kind of getting back to the basics of why we're here. And you know, I feel like Bitcoin, the more you talk about, the more you learn about Bitcoin, you understand how powerful it is. And it's the more you understand it, I feel like, anyways, this is kind of weird, but I feel like the more you understand it, the more complicated it gets to try to explain to other people who aren't where you are, who don't have the kind of knowledge that you have. And so I think that if we can, I got a little blurb here that I wrote down that I'll share in a little while. But yeah, I just think that if you kind of just go with that in mind, because the thing about it is that most people, I think at this point, know that central banks are not a good thing. I think most people know that. And so if you could just literally be like, hey, Bitcoin's main job is to destroy the central banks, I feel like a lot more people would be on board instead of trying to explain it as money or a store of value or a technology or a investment or whatever it is. It's just like, this is something that's designed to destroy the central banks. I really feel like people would grasp that. And then from there, I really like that approach, because then you say Bitcoin is made to destroy central banks. And then from there, they can kind of formulate their own knowledge of central banks. If they're like, okay, well, that's not a big deal, then they're not really ready for Bitcoin. If they don't understand that the central banks are the problem, then they're not ready for Bitcoin, and the conversation ends there. But if you say that and they're like, how does it do that? Or what's all that about? They kind of formulate their own questions in their head. And I think that when people are the ones asking questions versus you are the one who's telling them something, that's a much different dynamic. You know what I mean? Like when you just start explaining something to somebody, but they're not ready for it or they don't give a shit, then it just goes out. But if you say something that kind of triggers an emotional response or gets something moving in their brain, and then they ask a question about it, then all of a sudden they're interested in it. And then based on their question, you can kind of say, hey, okay, this is where they're at right now. So I really like that approach. And I think that one of the issues that people have with Bitcoin is that they have a very hard time explaining it to people, their friends, their family, their coworkers, anybody in their life who they've had the conversation with. It's a difficult thing to explain. Buck 52 said it's deja vu all over again. In what sense? What the hell's going on? This guy was just outside. Jenny's in the background. The Lord is my shepherd, shall not want. Good morning. Plastic's here. Good morning, Plastic. Tartafuna. Great name, Tartafuna. Love that. Tartafuna, says Fiat Maxi. Captain said, do you prefer Fiat Zaps or Sats? Definitely Sats, but I don't discriminate. Either one, Fiat Zaps or Sats, both value. The reason why I like Fiat, the reason why I like Sats is because nobody knows I have them. If you know what I mean. Nobody takes a cut of them anywhere. Not Rumble, not YouTube, not anybody else. So that's why I love Sats. But I also like Fiat Zaps because I still have Fiat expenses, and it also helps the Rumble channel, I believe, anyways. I have noticed that there's more people subscribing to the Rumble channel than usual, which means to me that Rumble might actually be promoting my videos a little bit here. So far, to get to this stage in Rumble, I don't think they've done a whole lot to help me. But I kind of expected that. That's one of the main downsides of Rumble is the discovery isn't very good. But it is a very good platform. It's a very good application because you can basically send whatever you want on there. There's no sort of censorship like other platforms have. And you can swear on there. They don't censor comments. You can share links, you can share videos, you can share whatever you want on Rumble, which is kind of cool. I'm for that myself. I don't think that you should be, I don't think anybody should dictate what you can and can't do or can and can't say. So both are great. Oh, Tardafuna got Jenny's membership. Look at that. I thought Robert did. How'd that happen? Tardafuna, where are you? Tardafuna? I thought Robert got it. What the hell happened there? Oh, Robert bought one. That's why? I don't know. I'm confused now. Robert bought one, though. So congratulations, Tardafuna. And thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Robert, very much. Robert with a Memby. And I missed Captain on here with a $5 zap. Robert Memby. Congrats, Tardafuna. Hey, Lori's back. Listen, Lori, good morning. With 1 4-leaf clover today. Maria 2500 is here. Good morning, Maria. Great to see you this morning. Scotty Boy says -7. That's half my channel. Yeah. For anybody who's wondering what Scotty's talking about, who maybe just showed up here, this is what we've had. A hell of a month. We had a record month in June. We had a record month. We had -7. So good. So good. We're killing it. We're -7. I have no idea how that happens. I have no idea. But anyways, we're trying to show some love. We're trying to give some love here. Lindsay Cote says, good morning, Saturday here. Where the heck are you, Lindsay? Got to be Japan, Australia, New Zealand. That's about it where it would be Saturday right now. Philippines. There's Robert. Purchased a membership. So whoever is new to Rumble, if you're someone new to Rumble and you're not a redneck yet, all you got to do is say hello over on Rumble. And Robert has purchased you a membership. The first person that says hello over in Rumble will get the honorary badge of being a redneck, Rumble redneck. Still waiting patiently to get you some value. Okay, well, I was trying not to send my address through Google, but I guess I might have to. So that's the frustrating thing about using things like Proton Mail, is that when you're trying to communicate with other email providers like Gmail, Hotmail, just doesn't show up. Doesn't show. Micah says, don't forget to press the like button. 38 watching and only 10 likes. What the F? What the F? Thank you for the reminder there, Micah. Now we get 16 now. Not bad. Not bad. Captain said, hoping to catch a few catfish using our secret bait, chicken gizzards with cherry Kool-Aid. What? I've never heard of that before. Chicken gizzards with cherry Kool-Aid. Wow. That's something. Or you can download the APK directly from their website. Okay, thank you. And look at Sharon B's here. Sharon B in the house. Sharon B 001. Great to see you. She says, happy birthday, Jenny. And there is Jenny's strike. So if you feel like sending some sats, it's her birthday on Sunday. So we won't be able to say an official happy birthday. But today is Jenny's. She doesn't like it, though. She's saying thumbs down. There's the one thumbs down. Just showed up. So yes, there's Jenny. Jenny Legendary. Rare. The rare opportunity to give Jenny some sats back. I sent her some birthday sats yesterday. I couldn't miss the opportunity. People don't know that, Jor. People don't even know what money is. I know. But I feel like we're getting to kind of a point where people understand that central banking is not a good thing. Most people. Even the average person, I really believe that they're starting to understand the dangers and the negative impacts of a central bank. I believe that anyways. Not everybody, of course. But I feel like overall, it is the case. Man, I hope Zapstream doesn't go down for me again for a long time. That'd be bad, bad, bad. I just want to know where those sats went to. 1,500 sats just gone. Look at this. We got Ian E in the house today. He says, happy Friday, Joy. Lovely people working through the heat in the UK. Have a great weekend, friends. Bitcoin doesn't promise an easy path. It rewards patience. A frickin' men to that. Great to see you, Ian. Ian was tied last week with Jenny Legendary for the biggest zap of the week. Ian and Jenny were pretty much a few sats away from each other. So it's great to see you, Ian. Sharon B. Okay, I see we got a couple things going on over in Rumble too. So we had Robert with a membership. We had Sharon B. Sharon B. chucking some dollars around. She says, good morning, mother duckers. No, good morning, mother duckers. Good morning, Sharon B. I got a little treat for you today, Sharon. We got the lemonades back. I've been kind of off lemonades for a little while, but we got lemonade back. And I meant to put ice in it, but we were running a little bit behind today, so I didn't have time to put ice in this. But let's hydrate ourselves a little bit here. We could use it. We could all use a little more water, a little more salt, a little more electrolytes. Because what is an electrolyte? What is it? I don't know, but I know that as an energetic being myself, I feel like anything with electricity or Electra involved is going to get me going. So thank you, Sharon B. And we also got another fiat zap here from our guy, Robert Stells Rowe. He sent $5 to the channel and said, happy birthday, Jenny. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Sharon. Very much. And so far, it's been a fat fiat zap Friday, but I might be missing some on my phone here too. Anyways, good morning, Robert. Good morning, everyone. TGIF. Amen to that. Look at this. We got Uncle Jenny. Not Uncle Jenny. Uncle Jenny. We got to move past that one, I think, before I take any shit. I'm so used to saying Jenny. Uncle Jimmy. Uncle Jimmy 360 says, long time no see, Jor. Love the title of the video. Fiat is a tool for an international banking cartel to trade fake credits for real scarce assets. You have to have a banking license to counterfeit. Isn't that the truth? That's a whole problem, man. And I know I keep saying this, but I really think it's an important one to understand because there's a lot of fighting right now in Bitcoin. There's a lot of fighting. You know, I spent about 4 hours yesterday. Nah, was it 4? I was doing things in between, obviously. But there was a Twitter Spaces talking about BIP 110 yesterday. And some of the conversations were productive. Some of them weren't. You had Gary Cardone on there basically telling Bitcoiners that they're idiots and that Bitcoin's going to go to zero. But Gary also had some good points. A lot of the concerns that Gary has are ones that I have myself, which I've also been talking about as of late, which is the governance structure of Bitcoin. I don't think that as it is today, it's going to work. It's not very sustainable like this. But here's the thing too, is that up until this point, hi, buddy. Up until this point, we haven't really needed anything else. We haven't really needed anything else. And, you know, I think that if nothing else, this whole BIP 110 war that's happening right now is going to be a good thing for Bitcoin. I really do. I think it was the same with core versus knots. Everybody learned what a policy was. And now everybody's learning what a consensus is. And the difference between the two. And I think Bitcoiners are starting to see that, hey, we can't, as good as this thing is decentralized. And actually, I think Gary had a little bit of a mistake yesterday. And it kind of set him off for the rest of the conversation. But he said this. Let me find this here. Oh, a little Charlie Major in the background today. All right. Okay, where was that? Tell me something I don't know. Oh man, Bitcoin, BIP. The whole Spaces was 4 hours long. Oh, okay. Look at this. Look at this. This is actually a really interesting that I found this right now. I've never seen this guy before, Scott Wolf. But this I share a lot of this sentiment here. Let's check this out. I think we need more people like Scott personally right now, and less ego, less bullshit. But this is what Scott has to say. He said, to all BIP 110 supporters, I've listened to a lot of your diverse concerns, and I want you to know that I empathize. I disagree with the proposed solution, this BIP at this point in time, but I want you to know that I hear you, and I believe that the majority of you are just trying to do what you believe is best for the long-term evolution and growth of Bitcoin. And BTC is the best, world's best money, the people's money. Even if we disagree on the BIP, we have far more in common than which separates us. Frickin' men to that. Let's keep the lion's share of our time, energy, and righteous rage for the perverse, broken systems and institutions that we are trying to disrupt and dismantle. That's the whole point here. That's the whole point. Let's keep the lion's share of our time, energy, and righteous rage for the perverse, broken systems and institutions that we are trying to disrupt and dismantle. One love. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, Scott. That's my exact thoughts on it. That's my exact thoughts on it. And I know that there's bad actors in Bitcoin. I do. And there's always going to be. That's just the nature of the world. And especially when you're trying to do something as big as Bitcoin is attempting to do, or already has done, I should say, there's going to be a lot of pushback. There's going to be a lot of secret agents. There's going to be lots of resistance and many battles and wars to come. It's not going to be an easy thing to do. But I think that our chances improve significantly if we can go through the whole thing together and understand that we are much more powerful and much stronger working as a unit instead of fighting over schematics. And I believe that BIP 110 right now is schematics because it doesn't really, in my opinion, from what I've seen, it's not going to have a real impact on anything. And even listening to that Twitter Spaces yesterday, 4 hours of it, there was a lot of people who were in favor of BIP 110, not just to get rid of spam, but to essentially show that node runners have power. And it's not just all the miners or all the big corporations, but it's the node runners. And I think that that's a valid claim. And I think a reason to, talk about this stuff and have the discussions. But at the end of the day, we don't need to change things just for the sake of showing that we can do it. Because if something actually comes up in Bitcoin that the majority of us believe is an existential threat to Bitcoin, we will make a move, regardless of what the miners want to do. Because that's the cool thing about Bitcoin is that it's kind of equal. It's kind of equal between the miners and the economic nodes and the users. It's all equal. I would say that the two biggest portions of that would be the developers too, of course. But the node runners and the miners are the two biggest players in Bitcoin. And they don't always align. Their incentives do not always align. But they have to be on board. They have to be together. They have to be united for any significant change to happen in Bitcoin. That's the beauty of it. It's very difficult to change Bitcoin. Very difficult. And so I do think that at some point we are going to have to flex our muscles as node runners, but I just don't think that this is the one. And I think that our energy, our time, people like Bitcoin Mechanic, people like Matthew Cratter, their time and energy would be much better spent growing the network right now. Because really, that is the cure to this whole spam issue, is that if we can grow adoption to the point where there's many people who are using Bitcoin layer one, then the fees go up, and it doesn't make economic sense for spammers to be putting bullshit on Bitcoin. And I also think it's a very slippery slope once you just start deciding what is spam, who gets to put what. It's not good. So again, I do think that at some point in the future, whatever that looks like, whenever that is, we are going to have to flex our muscles as node runners, but I just don't think that this is the fight. But I don't want a bunch of people to be butthurt and leave Bitcoin or hard fork and start using this other coin instead. That doesn't make any sense. There's so few of us as it is right now. And we're all here for the same reason, which is to destroy the central banks, to end the fiat misery. That's why we're all here. And all this name calling and, hypothetical, just disgusting things. We need to keep this in mind. Keep the lion's share of our time, energy, and righteous rage for the perverse, broken systems and institutions that we're trying to disrupt and dismantle. That's the goal. That's the goal. So I think we just need a reminder of that. And, even the BIP 110 proposed solution to it, it's a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid. You don't want people storing images on servers. I get that, but that's not going to fix anything. That's not going to actually fix anything in this world. Again, keep going back to this. What enables those images to be taken in the first place? What facilitates that type of thing to happen in the first place? It's the perverse, broken systems. It's the fiat dollars, the fact that individuals, just like us, human beings, have the ability to print money. And when you have the ability to print money, you can do some really disgusting, sick things with it. And they have done that for many years. So that's what we're all trying to stop here. And we're going to be much more effective at it if we're all working together. So there's going to be some bullshit over these coming months for sure. And the one thing I would say to people out there who are kind of like caught in the middle of this, the node runners who are caught in the middle of this, they're like, what do I do? Do I run knots? Do I run core? Do I activate BIP 110? Do I not? I'm not going to tell you what to do. My overall, based on that conversation yesterday, from both sides, it doesn't sound like there's much hope that BIP 110 is going to go through. It could change. Like the thing about the signaling right now is that you don't have to do it. It's just, it's trying to get some momentum. But realistically, right before the activation, there could be miners that signal to BIP 110, and then that would change everything. So that could still happen. But from everything that I'm seeing and hearing right now, BIP 110 doesn't have much of a chance to be a thing. And I think it's going to be a messy situation. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick with what I have. With what I have. And I've honestly been debating going back to Bitcoin Core, like Bitcoin Core 28. But the thing is, if you want to signal for BIP 110, like that's your thing. I'm never going to tell you what to do or what not to do. If you do want to do that, I would highly suggest being very aware of the implications of doing that and also knowing how to switch it back if it fails. So if you want to activate it, just make sure that you know how to switch it back if something doesn't go your way, if it doesn't end up succeeding. And from what I understand of it, we will know very quickly whether or not it fails or succeeds. From what I understand, it'll be within the first couple hours of the activation, the mandatory activation. So just be prepared. Be prepared. If you want to do it, that's your thing. But just make sure that you know how to easily switch back if you need to. And probably during those few hours, you don't want to be sending any Bitcoin transactions. Not that it'll be a big concern for the people here. It's more for like the businesses and the exchanges and all these different things who are, actively sending Bitcoin transactions all hours of the day. But for us, if you need to wait 5 hours to send a Bitcoin transaction, you probably can. So that's the two things I'd say. 3 things. 1, run whatever you want. 2, be ready to switch back to Bitcoin Core 29 or 28 or Bitcoin not version of that. And 3, do not send any Bitcoin transactions while that's happening. I mean, we still got a while to go. There's probably still going to be a month here, but I'm just trying to, give you a little bit of a heads up. So that's what we need to focus on is getting rid of the cartel who facilitates all this stuff. The everything else is just a band-aid. I got more than Nico. Oh, sweet. I have more than a dog. That's a great accomplishment in life. Jesus. Captain, does that really work? I'm going to fishing today and try it. Sharon B, chicken gizzard and red Kool-Aid. Interesting. Jenny says, thank you, Jory. You're welcome, Jenny. You're welcome. That's the least I could do. I said, I got to take an opportunity here. Got to take my opportunity to send some back to Jenny. Okay, but what was I looking for here? I guess that accomplished what I wanted to. What was I doing? Man, freaking Zapstream. On Fat Zap Friday, too, of all days, Zapstream goes down. But if I know this community here, Zapstream being down won't slow anything down. If I know this community here, let's check it out. Let's do a little Zap check. Okay. So yes, since Zapstream is down today, this is another option. Jor at Rizful, Arnie Boy, the Rescue Dog Fund. That's about all I got for you today. Okay, it looks like we got some zaps to report. Let's start from the bottom here. Who's zapping? Who are the zappers today? Okay, we got whoa, look at that one. That's a fatty. That's a fat zap. Happy Fat Zap Friday, Jor. Oh, frick. Rizful, you're not doing yourself any favors here. You might be replaced here soon. But I love that. I love that handle, Jor at Rizful. So easy. Oh, what happened here? Music cut off. Rizful's not working. Pets' heads are falling off. But Arnie's back. Arnie's just roaming today. I wonder why that stopped. Arnie, what did you do? Okay. Rizzy. Let's try this again. Okay. So we got Happy Fat Zap Friday, Jor. Have a great weekend. Letha the icon with a quad. A quad. That is definitely a fat zap. Fattest of the day so far, potentially of the week. We got another one here from Maria, 10K today. Maria, 10K. She said from Maria, 10K. You might know her as Maria 2500 on Rumble. She said from Maria, 10K, happy Friday. Thank you, Maria. So double shot there. We got, look at this, Sats and Sunsets. He's gone, but he left a nice fat zap for today. He zapped for show 61 with a couple of zeros at the end of that. So we'll count that as espresso. We'll count that one as a shaft. Espresso with a little bit of vodka in it. So thank you, Sats and Sunsets. We got Jenny Legendary with a big one. Jenny with a Jenny Zap, which means she has the membership. She has the Fiat Zap. And she has the Fat Zap. That we call that a Satoshi hat trick around here, my friends. Let's see it. Satoshi hat trick. Let's see that again. Let's see that assist. Let's run that one back. Was that a real assist? Was that a goal? Did that go in the net? Satoshi hat trick for Jenny today. So far, the soul Satoshi hat trick, the sat trick. I'm just going to put sat trick because Satoshi hat trick takes way too damn long to type or to write out. Jenny Legendary. Thank you, Jenny. Which is the goal, the assist, the fight, the zap, the fiat zap, the membi. Heck yeah. Thank you, Jenny. Okay, that's his. We got some more here to report. We might as well keep going. And we'll do another zap check at the tail end of the show. Come on. Okay, I'm going to keep going through some comments here too because I'm falling behind. Scotty said, I just saw my wall. Thanks for the zap. From Sharon. Robert said, what do I need still for the hat trick? Robert, you sent a fiat zap and a membership. So you just need a fat zap on to the Rizful. And fat zap I would consider to be, it used to be over 8,000. The King Zap, 8,888. That was the fat zap minimum. But it's a bear market. So we've reduced the minimum to be 5,000 sats to be considered a fat zap. So that's you're only missing that. Matt FRL is here. And then Robert would become, I believe, the 5th person to get a Satoshi hat trick. Matt FRL, good to see you, my man. Senior Gringo Poppy, good morning. Mateo says, great points. Bitcoin is the most battle-tested network out there, and it will continue to be. Amen. Hard fork incoming. I do believe. That's my guess. I don't know how long. I don't know. So basically, from my understanding, if the soft fork fails, or if the activation requirements fail, then it either dies, it just turns into a failed experiment and just dies, or they could fork it. If they think that they have enough support that they can make an actual network out of BIP 110 coins to try to replace Bitcoin, then they could do a hard fork, which would lead to a whole nother mess of issues and probably a lot of, I don't know. That's the thing too. And somebody kind of made that point today is like, let's see what happens, because if there really is that much support around BIP 110 and it ends up failing as an activation, if the miners don't, get over the threshold of it, which I believe is 55%. I also don't really understand that because Mechanic was trying to say that it was 0 or something. I don't know. I didn't understand that. But if it fails, if they don't get the threshold met, they could fork it. And then it'll be, if the new BIP 110 coin, if they do fork it, that'll be a whole new chain. And then they have the ability, I guess, if the exchanges start to list that new coin, then there will be a market for it. And then as existing Bitcoiners who haven't activated or who don't want to fork off, then you essentially have a brand new set of UTXOs with the new coin that you could sell to the exchanges if the exchanges list it. If they don't, then you don't really have to do anything. And then the whole thing kind of ends up dying anyways. But I don't know, man. I just don't think that there's enough economic support for BIP 110 that it'll be anything. Even if they do hard fork, I don't really see it having enough traction for like exchanges wanting to list it. So probably, I think the most likely scenario here is that it's not going to succeed. They might hard fork, but even if they do, I don't think there's going to be enough of a market for anything to really matter anyways. Like there has to be a market for these new BIP 110 coins for you to want to claim them and send them to the exchanges. But then there's a whole nother mess of, you have to put in your private keys to claim the new coins, and that could potentially expose it's just a whole mess. It's a whole mess. But I do think it's necessary. Like, I really believe that things like this are good for Bitcoin. I really do. And Bitcoin Mechanic yesterday said that if this fails, then Bitcoin's immune system has failed. I don't think that that's the case at all. I just don't think that there's enough people with economic influence in Bitcoin that believe this to be a huge threat, like a do or die kind of thing. I don't think that there's enough people that feel that way. I do think that if there was an issue that people felt strongly enough, then the immune system of Bitcoin would kick in and we would actually make some consensus changes. But I don't think this is one of them. I just don't. But I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. There could be two big miners on the block, the mandatory activation, that decide to activate, and then we'll have a new consensus. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Tardafuna says fiat is a bankster scam. I actually love it. I went through a little phase where I was kind of like, what are we doing here? But I actually think that things like this are a net positive for Bitcoin. I really do. Because people are learning. People are learning how this thing works. And if we want this thing to work, people have to understand how it works. And I do think that we will evolve as issues like this come up and we see issues and problems with how things are, then we'll find solutions to it. But until that happens, there's really no need to spend any time or energy thinking about it or strategizing. But I do think that the fallout of this will be improvements to the overall governance of Bitcoin and further decentralization of Bitcoin itself, which is a good thing. Scotty said it was a rare inflow. You got to start working for Bitcoin, Scotty boy. You got to start working for some biddies. 169. I don't know. What are we at right now even? Don't know. What would Satoshi say? Well, another point that was made here. See, comments like this are just silly. Have we developed money or a garbage dump? Like a garbage dump, really? That's what you consider Bitcoin to be today, a garbage dump? Ah, man. And that's the whole thing too. And I really think that, if we go back to this Genesis block here, I want you to think about this. And this is actually a point that was raised yesterday that I don't think got enough credit. We look at these things all the time of like symbolism. We watched that Elon Musk video, the Sweet Land. We watched that for 3 times last week and tried to see, what messages are they trying to communicate through this video? Because I don't think anybody would deny that shit happens all the time from good sides and bad sides and all angles. People, when they create something, there's always some sort of meaning there. There's always some sort of message that they're trying to communicate. And it's not always just with words. It's with other things. So this Genesis block here, block 0, the very first block, January 3rd, 2009. What did Satoshi do? The very first Genesis block, block 0, what started this whole thing? He had a comment on here. He added some political message on here. He said the Times, 03 Jan 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. Do you think that Satoshi or they, him, they, her, whatever it is, aliens, time travelers, I don't know, whoever Satoshi was, do you think that they just did that for shits and gigs? Do you think that they just did that for shits and gigs? And it's kind of fitting today that our title of the show is Bitcoin's mission is to destroy central banks. Satoshi made that very clear in the very first Genesis block. The point of Bitcoin is to get rid of the banks. Chancellor on the brink of second bailout for banks. So that's one message there. But I think the other thing, he's saying that you can put something on this time chain. You can put words on this time chain that nobody can erase. And I keep going back to this, but I just wish people understood how powerful that is. If we had the ability to transport words from the 2000 BC or the 1200s or even before that, if we had the ability to transport words from back then to today that nobody could fuck with, that nobody could change or alter or delete, you know how much different our lives would be today? Do you have any idea how different our lives would be if we had all the information that we as humans have had throughout time? If nobody had the ability to change it, alter it, delete it, how much different our lives would be today? That is absolutely massive. And I don't think it was a coincidence or just like a little small thing that Satoshi decided to put this in the very first block to say, hey, you guys, there's two meanings in this, I believe. There's Bitcoin's mission is to destroy central banks, one, and two, you guys can use this to put information on that nobody can fuck with. If you don't think that that's the case, then we're not really aligned in certain ways with Bitcoin. And again, I empathize. I agree with you. Bitcoin is money. It's a perfect money. I use Bitcoin every day as money. Just because there's some ordinals and inscriptions on the Bitcoin blockchain, that doesn't have any impact on me. What we need to do is make it too expensive for people to spam the network. And how do you do that? It's not by whack-a-mole, trying to make changes to it and always, having these consensus changes. It's simply getting more people to use it, getting more people to understand how powerful this network is, and this ledger and time chain that nobody has the ability to alter. So that's my thoughts on it. And yes, Jenny says you locked them up. Exactly. He made these 50 Bitcoin unspendable. So 3 messages there. 3 messages. Number 1, Bitcoin's mission is to destroy the central banks, to separate money from state. Number 1. Number 2 is that you can add data on here. You can write words on this time chain that nobody can alter. It's a big thing. That's a big thing. And number 3 is that every single Bitcoin from block 0, from the Genesis block, is fair. There's been no pre-mines. There's been no ICOs. There's been no friends and family who got free Bitcoin because they knew Satoshi. 0 Bitcoin have ever been given for free. Satoshi knew that he was the only one mining at this time. This was the first test run of Bitcoin, the first block. But he knew he was the only one that could solve the equation. So he made these coins unspendable. 1, 2, 3. Bingo, bango, bongo. And could I be wrong? Yes. But what would you argue with me there? I would like to hear an argument to that. Okay. What else we got here? R3 relapse says Farcoin to the moon. David T said, I did a manual Fat Zap Fridays app. Okay, thank you, David T. Let's check her out. Let's check it out now. David T got a membership. So Robert's membership went to David T. Nice. Why shit on the Red Wings, Jor? Did I shit on the Red Wings? How did I shit on the Red Wings? What did I say? I missed it. I know you're a Red Wings fan. I wouldn't shit on the Red Wings. What did I say about the Red Wings? We also got a zap here from Mark. A big one from Mark. Mark's Friday zap. Thank you, Mark. Triple shot of espresso there from our guy, Mark, Bob, Stewie, the boys. Love to see that. Thank you, Mark. We got one zap of 5555 from Sharon B, it looks like. And then another one. Sharon, did you send both those? And there's the David T zap, the extra large 420 zap today. So we got Mark, we got Sharon B times 2. So Sharon B, you are one membership away from Satoshi hat trick, a sat trick. So thank you, David T. Thank you, Sharon. And we got a couple more here. We got 188 sats. I don't know who that's from, but thank you. And we got one from Cindeezy here. I didn't see Sin in the chat yet. Cindeezy says, the fatter the Friday, the sweeter the sats. A fat Cindeezy zap today. Thank you, Sin. Buck 52. How did I shit on the Red Wings? What the hell was I talking about? Red Wings. Why did the Detroit Red Wings come up? Captain says, yes, we have used that bait for years and had good luck with it. Throw some chicken gizzards, cherry Kool-Aid, and some minced garlic in a bag. Shake it up and let it sit in the sun for a few hours. Oof. Yeah, we've been watching a show. Look at this. Look at this guy. We've been watching a show on Amazon, I think it is. It's called Hard North. It's about 4 different people who are building homes in the woods. I think 2 of them are cabins, 2 of them are actual homes. And yeah, you learn a lot. Learn a lot about building, about engineering, and about food stuff, and like how to hunt and trap. It's pretty interesting show. Hard North. I would recommend it. I know everybody here in this community would enjoy it. It's on Amazon. It's called Hard North. And yeah, it made me think of that because one of the things that they did was leave guts out in the sun for a while. And she basically said the same thing. Don't smell it or don't eat it. But they like it. I think it was for wolves, maybe? No. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't recommend eating it. Sharon B says, Captain, we have huge catfish here at my lake. That's exciting. Thanks. Oh. Yes, I got you. Okay. Yeah, so that was the Satoshi hat trick has the abs beating up on the wings. That is from Adam and Lori. They're in Colorado. So as Colorado fans, obviously Detroit is probably their biggest rival. Or they were. I don't know if they are anymore, but they were. That was a legendary series. When was that? The 90s? Early 2000s. They had some really good series. That was when Patty Waugh was in net, Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, Milan Hayduk, and the Wings had all their players too. Yzerman, Fedorov, Lidstrom, Osgood. That's when the Russians had that crash too, or some of them died. Okay. There we go. So that's it for today. Just kidding. We got more to go. Wow, we got 50 freaking people over in Rumble. 50 people, Rumble. Let's go. We got 21 thumbs up, though. That's probably our worst percentage of in a while. So if you're one of 53 people watching on Rumble, consider, if you like what we're doing here, you like the show, like the mission, consider pressing the thumbs up. It helps. It helps my ego. Helps my ego. Okay, what was I going to talk about today? Destroy central banks. Okay, I want to read this to you. Sharon B said, I sent 2 zaps and a zap to Lucky. Nice. Okay, let's check this out. Actually, I do owe some people some thank yous for this. I just checked Lucky's wallet yesterday. Wow, Sharon. Sharon B with 3 big zaps. Thank you, Sharon. And then we had 4 zaps to Lucky for his birthday. One from Jenny. Jenny said, happy birthday, Lucky. We are close to birthday twins. Jenny sent happy birthday from the future. Looks like Chuck. This was Chuck. He sent happy birthday, Lucky. And then I believe it was Sats and Sunsets who sent 7,777 to Lucky Boy. So Lucky's a pretty rich cat. Not quite as rich as Arnie, but Arnie's going to be putting, actually, to be honest with you, I've been combining them. So every time Lucky's gets to a certain threshold, which I believe has only been once, but I send it to the Rescue Dog Fund. So they're both rescues. Both Arnie and Lucky are both orphans. They're both rescues. We rescued Arnie Boy, and Lucky just showed up here one day. So I think that both of them would be okay with allocating that to the rescue fund. where we hope to one day, we will one day, when Bitcoin allows us to, we will build a rescue, a shelter out here. We got the space. We got the space. We got the sats. Now we just need the world to wake up to how valuable those sats are. This guy. Oh, what a tough life, Arn. What a tough life you got. I gave Arnie a big treat today. Maybe that's why he's sticking around. Okay, let's get to a little bit of Noster catch up from the week. There were a couple things I wanted to share here. I wanted to share this from Rosetta. This was my the post of the day from Noster today. From Rosetta Stone. Okay, give me 1 second here. All right, Rosetta says, paid for an annual VPS with BTC yesterday. Set up my start tunnel today. Now I can access my Vault Warden password manager securely, and it loads much quicker than through Tor from anywhere in the world. Core Lightning through my Zeus app just got a lot faster. Hell, now I can do coin joins from my phone while sitting in meetings at work if I really wanted to. In an increasing dystopian police state with flock cameras sprouting up overnight, I am bullish on the future of freedom tech for self-sovereign individuals that have. Oh wow, this is a good paragraph right here. In an increasingly dystopian police state with flock cameras sprouting up overnight, I am bullish on the future of freedom tech for self-sovereign individuals that have an open mind and give a damn. I'm bullish on the future of freedom tech for self-sovereign individuals that have an open mind and give a damn. And if nothing else, I think that should be one of your main goals, is to keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. And of course, if you're watching this today, then I'm assuming you give a damn too. You give a damn. So that's what I'm thinking. Like I feel like in the short term, as a prediction for the future, short term, there's going to be winners and there's going to be losers. There's going to be people whose lives get better and cheaper, and there's going to be people's lives whose get harder and more expensive. That's short term. That's the old world, people living in the old world still, and versus people who are living in the new world. And but long term, everybody wins. That's the nice thing about what we're going through right now, is like long term, everybody wins, because Bitcoin is something that takes control from the state. It eliminates central banks, and it takes away the power of people printing money. And it doesn't really matter what country you're in. You could be in Canada, you could be in the US, you could be in Nigeria, you could be in Afghanistan, you could be at any country on this planet. And as long as there's a global money like Bitcoin that you can store your wealth in, then you're completely unaffected by government printing, because every single government around the world right now has no other option than to continue printing money. And as they print more units of dollars, everybody's life gets more expensive in fiat terms. But because of Bitcoin, now you have the ability to take your value, your time, your energy, and put it into a network and a system that nobody can debase. So then once you have your value in that system or the new world, then it doesn't really matter what's going on in the old world. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many units they're printing. It's not impacting you at all. I really wish more people understood that. I really wish more people understood that. And could you just imagine how different the world would be if everybody had that understanding? If everybody could understand what I'm saying right now, that no matter where you are on this planet, everybody is a victim of their government right now, and their governments have no other choice than to print more money. So people will continuously get poorer and poorer and poorer everywhere. But Bitcoin is a global monetary network and a currency that you can take your time and your energy and your value and put it into there, and then you're completely immune from government printing. And you don't really have to understand how yet. That's not the first step. The first step is just understanding that this thing exists and has been doing a very good job of protecting people's purchasing power and getting them away from that world where they're constantly debased by their government. So if you just knew that, if people knew that, that's the first step. And then you start looking at why. Why is that the case? How does that happen? How is it enforced? How can it be changed? How? But the first step is just knowing that Bitcoin gives the ability to people all around the world. It's a solution for 8 billion people, because all 8 billion people right now are being destroyed by their governments. Their government's printing money. Every person. So short term, there's going to be winners and losers. Short term, the people who are still in the fiat system, their lives are going to get harder and things are going to get more expensive. Short term, the people who are living in the new world, their lives are going to get better and cheaper. But in the long run, everybody wins, because everybody is suffering from the money printer, and Bitcoin solves that problem. So I just wish that message would spread. And then if people knew that, then they could start looking into how they could take, an hour of their Netflix time, or an hour, 5 minutes at lunch hour at their job, and just start sniffing around. And then you get a little bit, and then you have some skin in the game. And then you're like, damn. And then your whole life changed. Then all of a sudden you're watching 88 Sats on Friday morning. It's how it happens. But unfortunately, most people won't give a shit until the price of Bitcoin is going up. So for the next little while, it's just going to be us here. But that's okay. That's okay, because we get the opportunity now to stack those units of freedom, of sovereignty, we call Satoshis, Bitcoin, stack more of those units for the same amount of dollars. That's where we are right now. We have to show the power of Bitcoin. People still think it's a magic internet money. Yeah, and so that's kind of what we were, that's what the whole show is about today. Is like, just keep it very simple, right? Because most Bitcoiners want to tell everybody about it. They want to help. They want to help their friends, because they see it all around them, of their friends, their family, everybody in their life struggling. And they know that there's a solution to it. They know that Bitcoin is the answer. But it's very difficult to communicate to people when you're halfway up the mountain and they're still at the base. They haven't even taken the first step yet. It's a very long channel that you have to communicate through there. But if you just start with, hey, Bitcoin's main mission is to destroy the central banks. Bitcoin's main mission is to destroy central banks. And then if people don't really care about that, then you know how far away they are. And then you just leave them. It's not worth your time. They're too far away at that point. But if someone says, hey, how? Why is that? How does that happen? Then they ask the question. And when people ask questions they're actually interested in, then there's actually a chance that they do a little bit more work and try to understand what's going on here. So let me find this. Let me find this note that I made about a very easy explanation of Bitcoin. I really like that, of just, this is what it is. Its main mission is to destroy central banks. It's a good start. But I wanted to give you this too. Where is this? Holy man. If you guys could see my obsidian. If you guys could only see my obsidian. It's around here somewhere, I think. Now I'm questioning myself. Where did I put that? I try to put everything in one spot. That's one thing that I learned in the last couple of years, is that when you try to get too cute, then you just forget about where things are. But if you just put all of your thoughts and all of your notes in one spot, here it is, then you can't lose it. So let me write this out. I think that this is a good explanation for people out there of what Bitcoin is. When somebody says, well, what is Bitcoin? What is it? How many times have you been asked that question? What is Bitcoin? So let me bring this up. I kind of came up with this definition that I think is decent. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is an asset that can be, and again, I know it's not technically an asset, but if you try telling somebody who's never spent a second in Bitcoin that it's a protocol, they're gone. You lost them. As soon as you say any word that they don't really necessarily understand, that they aren't familiar with, you lose them. So it's an asset. Just go with that. It's an asset that can be transferred, to anyone without permission. Carried across borders without anyone knowing, and secured without anyone being able to steal it. So this was out of my brain into my obsidian here. So it's probably not perfect, but I think that's a really easy way to explain Bitcoin to somebody. An asset that can be transferred to anyone without permission, carried across borders without anyone knowing, and secured without anyone being able to steal it. And I feel like probably, depending on who you're speaking to, but most people will resonate with at least one of those things. And the conversation that I had with the guy in Prague, my Uber driver, this was the one that really stood out to him. That's what piqued his interest, is that you can carry it across borders without anyone knowing. Like, how incredible is that? You could take your entire life's worth, your wealth, across a border without anybody knowing that you have it. Like, that in itself, when anybody says, what is Bitcoin's intrinsic value? That's a pretty big fucking deal. You can take your entire life's work, all of your wealth, across a border, and nobody knows that you have it. You can't do that with anything else. And it's a case with all of these things. What other asset can you transfer to anyone without permission? Well, you could give somebody a $20 bill, but you have to be there in person. That's the problem with it. You have to be there in person. And we live in a very digital world now, a global world, where there's people from all around the world who are watching this stream right now. So that's great. And I love cash. Cash is amazing. And I hope it never goes away. But you can't do that with anything else. You can't send somebody a house or a stock or money without anybody's permission. You can't do this with anything else. You can't take gold across the borders. You definitely can't take your house or your land or more than $10,000 worth of cash. And even if you do, people are going to know you have it. You could take $10,000 worth of cash. You could take a couple ounces of gold, but they still know you have it. And secured without anybody being able to steal it. Same thing. You can't do that with anything else. Nothing. So this is what gives Bitcoin its value. Of course, yeah, it's censorship resistant, it's decentralized. Nobody gives a shit about that, though. You got to focus on the things that people actually care about. And in a world that's increasingly being surveilled, and governments are increasingly overreaching on people's privacies and just livelihoods overall, this stuff matters to people. Believe it or not, this stuff actually matters. They just don't know that Bitcoin solves these problems. And so I think by just having something very simple like this, simple to memorize, simple to speak, simple to understand, that's where you actually get people's interest. But here's the thing. This is like where you start, is like, Bitcoin was created to destroy the central banks. And then if people don't care about that, then they're, not even close to where you are and getting into Bitcoin. So just leave it there. But if people are like, how? Well, here's how. So that's what I had for you today. That's what I got for you today, my friends. Okay, well, it is 11 o'clock here. And we got our Maple Bitcoin show starting in 2 hours from now. So I think I'm going to hit the road. I'm just going to do one quick scan here of Nostr in case there's anything else that I missed. Oh, I wanted to share this. 1, 2. Oh, I got to sneeze. Wow. Double sneeze there. My biggest fear in life is forgetting to turn the mute button on or turn the microphone off there. It'll blow I'm a very loud sneezer. Like the whole lake probably heard me sneeze just now. But if I ever forget, I apologize. There's going to be some blown eardrums. I wouldn't say that's my biggest fear. My biggest fear is that nobody ends up adopting Bitcoin, and we continuously we live in a slavery system forever. That's my biggest fear. Not from Earth. Not from Earth. Great name. Where are you from? So my experience is nobody gives a shit about destroying a central bank. I generally start off with Bitcoin as money, plain and simple. Well, I mean, yeah, and that's like I think that's what everybody tries to do, and I don't think it's very effective because people are like, well, I already have a money that works, so why do I need a new one? They also don't even know what money is. So they're like, well, why would I use this new money if the government has a money already and they're probably not going to let me use this new money? So, I mean, you're right and you're wrong in a sense because most people, I wouldn't say nobody gives a shit. That's for sure. First of all, I'd say an ever increasing amount of people do give a shit about destroying the central banks. But number two is that everybody does that. They're like, well, Bitcoin is money. And then people are like, okay, well, who cares? Like, I already have a money. Why do I need that? So from my experience anyways, of talking to many people, many parts of the world about Bitcoin, whenever you say it's money, nobody cares because nobody knows what money is and they already have a money. So then it's like, they don't care. So I don't know if maybe you've been effective with that. I haven't been. Anytime I say it's money, people are like, oh, okay, cool, weirdo. But I do really think that an ever increasing amount of people do give a shit about central banks. I really do. We're going through kind of one thing that's happening right now that I don't think anybody would deny is that there's a global awakening happening right now of many different things. And a big part of that is central banking. People are now more aware of how evil central banking is and how big of an issue it is, and it has been throughout history. Many people are starting to see this right now. We got Robert said, did you get the zap? I did. Robert with the second Satoshi hat trick of the day. Did Sharon get... Sharon was one membership away from a Satoshi hat trick today. I don't know if she's still here or not. But anyways, Robert got it. Robert got the Satoshi hat trick. Thank you, Robert. So that was the second one of the day. Let's see it. Sorry to Buck 52 for the Red Wings losing here. But here we go. Robert, the fifth person to get a Satoshi hat trick. Congratulations and thank you. Heckin' rights. Heckin' rights. Thank you, Robert. Mucho. Bitcoin is honest money. True. True words. Sato says, great definition of Bitcoin, George. Stripped to its bare bones for people to actually give a shit. The moment you start talking about freedom money, decentralized money, you lose them. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, if you like that definition, feel free to steal it from me. Bitcoin is an asset that can be transferred to anyone without permission, carried across borders without anyone knowing, and secured without anyone being able to steal it. Because I think that definition there, you're right. There's no confusing words in there. There's nothing that they're unfamiliar with. There's probably some pain points that they're dealing with in their own life right now. But I also feel like this definition would spark some interest. Like, you can carry this across borders without anyone knowing? Okay, well, in the back of their mind, if somebody's ready for Bitcoin, they're probably like, well, you know, my husband and I, or my wife and I, have been having this conversation of like, how do we leave this country to go to this country? And all of a sudden they hear that you can carry this across a border without anyone knowing it. That's super interesting to them. Like, how many people in the world right now are considering moving because of their government, because of all the money printing, because of how difficult their life is right now? Many. And all of a sudden you tell somebody that you can move Bitcoin across a border without anyone knowing that they have it. That's a big thing. That's a very important thing to them. And secured without anyone being able to steal it? What? I mean, I just had my window smashed last week because the crime is out of control, because the government does everything except what's best for its citizens. So I just had my window smashed last night. You're telling me that I can hold Bitcoin without anyone being able to steal it? How? Agree. Yeah. Yeah. It's that it hasn't been effective for me. Robert says we have billionaires promoting clean coins. WTF? What do you mean? Clean coins. I'm sure that'll be the next narrative. Is that I'm sure that's coming. Like I said, this whole BIP 110 thing, this is just the first of many to come. Buck 52 says, insert Jerome Powell, print to go Burr GIF. Yes, no doubt. Folsom Huddle says, my bank now states I need to keep a minimum of $20,000 in my account so I'm not charged $25. Wow. Wow. That 20K there probably making 75 to 100 a month off me. No, it'd be more than that, wouldn't it? So you put 20K in there, they lend out pretty much the whole thing. And what's the interest on 20K a month? What's the interest on 20K a month? It's got to be more. Maybe not. Maybe you're right. Depending on the rates, I guess. But yeah, I would guess it'd be, what would 1% be? 200? No. I guess annually. I don't know. It would depend on the rates. But yeah, that's great. Isn't it crazy, man? It's like if more people understood the banking system, Bitcoin would be $10 million today. People wouldn't even need to know like why Bitcoin works. It would just be, if people understood how messed up, how corrupt, how illusionary the whole system is, and how rigged against them it is, how you take money down to the bank, you get nothing for it, but the banks profit off of that. It doesn't make any sense. It's so sick. It's so disturbing. And the only reason they've got away with it through all these years is because it was kept in the dark. A lot of this stuff was kept in the dark, but it's not anymore. It's not in the dark. Everywhere there's light being shone on it right now. And with that light comes change. Because again, we talked about the money changers yesterday. And basically the only way that they survived and got away with it for so long is because they did it in the dark, behind the curtain. But the curtain's being opened up. And I mean, you can say whatever you want about Donald Trump as a president and as a person, but the one thing that you cannot deny is how many people he's woken up to all this corruption, whether it is central banking or Hollywood or big pharma or the elections, the media, all this stuff Trump has woken people up to. And once people see it, they don't unsee it. Bitcoin's magical property is it can be transported over a communications channel. Exactly. And you know, it's funny because this week there was this new app called, what's it called? Not Rage. Damn it. Somebody mentioned it up top here. Plebinator did. What's it called? Radar. What did I say? Rage? Radar. I was close. Got the first two letters right. Radar chat. So yeah, I mean, we actually have that ability today. Radar. Yes. Thank you, Sin. So you can literally now, and what also you have to understand what money is. What is money? It's communication. It's a language. Okay, let's get out of here. I'm tired of this. Tired of the sneezes. Okay, look at this. We got to update here. We got to update this. So these are the Satoshi hat tricks. We had two today. We had one from Jenny. And Jenny, did you have one? Jenny had 3 last week. So I'm pretty sure Jenny now has 5. Sats and Sunsets had 2 last week. So he has 3. Chuck had one earlier this week. So Chuck has 4. And we got the newest one, the 5th person to get a Satoshi hat trick, the Sat trick, was Robert. So thank you, Robert. I think I added, I didn't get Jenny's from today though. So Jenny had 2, we added 3. Jenny has 6. So shout out to the Satoshi hat tricks out there. Jenny, Sats and Sunsets, Chuck, Captain, and Robert. That's good proof of work there. Good proof of work because you have to, number 1, you're on Rumble. Number 2, you can send a Lightning transaction. So that's good, good proof of work there. I like that. Tardafuna says, fiat currency is not money. Fiat currency is imposed through coercion, while real money is chosen by the free market. For education, what is money? Best to read Karl Menger and Ludwig von Mises. Yes, absolutely. And there's actually a really interesting, what is it called? The History of Money? Robert something? Is it History of Money? What's that series? It's something of money. It was on YouTube. It's like a 6 or 7 part series about it. Not that I would, anybody here needs to watch it, because I'm pretty sure if you're watching the show today, you have a pretty good idea of how fucking corrupt the money system is. But there's a really good series on it. I just forget the name of it. No, this is a good one too. What is Money with Breedlove? Very good series. But I'm thinking of something that's older. It's probably like 20 years old now. Maybe even more. Archangel St. Thomas spoke about the mustard seed, that where it lays a Merkle tree design of creation emerges and a new world will emerge. Our Bitcoin Bitcoin miners are the mustard seed. Interesting. Archangel Saint Thomas spoke about the mustard seed, that where it lays a Merkle tree design of creation emerges and a new world will emerge. Yeah, that's what I really believe is happening right now, is that that we are in the middle of the transition right now from the old world to the new world. And it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I know that there's going to be some trials and some tribulations along the way, and people who are a little bit further ahead than others, and some who are lagging, and some who haven't even started. They're still 100% in that old world. And really, if you think about where we are right now, oh, I got to sneeze again. But if you think about it, what I was saying there is, if you think about where you're at, like, just think about yourself right now. Think about your life. If we are indeed moving to this new world, and again, it's not like we're going to hop planets here. We're not physically going to move anywhere, right? Like, that's important to understand that. We're not physically going to move anywhere. We're not going to Mars. But the new world and the old world, like, think about how many of your friends and family are still in the old world. Like, most people listening to this today or watching this today, like 100% of the rest of your life, they're all still in the old world. They might be like showing some signs of, questioning things or looking into things, scratching around, sniffing around. But most people that we know are all still 100% in that old world. And it's been going on for a couple decades now, I believe, anyways. And it's probably going to be another decade or two of a transition. And it is a transition. This shit, 8 billion people, I don't think there's 8 billion people on the planet, but assuming there is, you know how long it takes for consensus to change, and for 8 billion people to all wake up, all see the problem, all figure out the solution, put in the work to do that, take the time. And by the time that it happens, there's just not going to be that many sats left for people. So you have to wonder, what are the value of these sats going to be on the other side of this? They're going to be pretty valuable. Pretty valuable. Most people will never have a UTXO. Mathematically speaking, most people will never have a UTXO. And, it's a good reminder on this Friday. It's a good reminder that whatever balance you have, when you look at your wallet, yes, sin. That's what I was thinking about. Yep. Hidden Secrets of Money by Mike Maloney. Bingo. But any amount that you have right now, you just have to understand how fucking valuable it is, regardless of what the old world is telling you. Because again, that's what we're looking at right now. The fiat price, when people talk about the Bitcoin price, that's old world. It's old world. There's going to be no fiat money in the new world. So it is still relevant because a lot of us still, we're not fully crossed into the new world yet. We're not fully across the bridge. Many of us are quite a ways down the bridge along the way, but we're just not. And so the real value of these Satoshis that you're holding today are significant. Significant. Like, take whatever you think it is, times it by 1,000. Literally. And the longer you can get through this, and I mean, you survive this bear market, man, I think that you're going to be here for a while. So anyways, I just want to say a big thanks to everybody again. I made a big post on our school, which I'm going to talk about here real quickly because, like I said, even though the old world's telling you that your sats are only worth this much right now, that's not true. Take whatever you think they're worth and times it by 1,000. And so this is the kind of stuff that you need to be thinking about right now. And so Maria, the other day, she said, if you want to level up your knowledge or just need a refresher on Bitcoin security and best practices, check out the digital homestead course that Jor is walking us through. I learned something new with every class and can't say enough good things about it. So in the first 9 episodes, arguably the most important part of it, from my perspective anyways, was the starting point for security. The starting point so that you can go to bed at night knowing that your sats are safe. And it's very simple. It's a very simple equation that we talked about. I believe it was episode 2. But it's going to take a little bit of work. You're going to have to watch the show. You're going to have to put some things in place. But you're going to at least 10x your security by watching that video and thinking through this stuff. Because it's not difficult. It's just that most people haven't taken the time to think about the implications of it all. And by that, I mean like holding your hardware device and your 12 words in the same location and the big time vulnerability around that. Even if you have it on steel, it's a huge vulnerability. Next one was the top methods to obtain non-KYC sats. How to make your KYC sats more private today and your existing ones going forward. How to send an on-chain transaction and increase your fee using RBF. I mean, this fact alone, when I first got into Bitcoin, I sent a transaction and I screwed it up. And I was using the wrong wallet. And it cost me probably 200 or 250,000 sats to fix the error. And so that's, I mean, the value that this community has, this course, is that I've gone through all the shit. I've spent the time, I've lost the sats so that you don't have to. That's the value here. How to set up a passphrase wallet and use the BIP85 index wallet, which is Uncle Jim mode for your family. And much more invaluable information for Bitcoiners, which is school.com/88 sats. And I want to give a big shout out to everybody who already is a member over there. And the people who are going to be coming. So that's the school. Consider joining it. Will be the best investment. My whole goal is to make sure that whatever value that you pay to be in there, you get 10 to 100x more. That's my whole goal. So I'm in there all the time. We do a weekly show for the digital homestead course. We do a weekly meetup also in school. And there's just so much good conversation in the community aspect of things. Discussions, people asking questions, people looking for information. It is invaluable. The price that people pay to be in there, I think it is significantly less than it's worth. And my whole goal is to add 10 to 100x more value than people pay to be in there. So I never want to be in a situation where people are just like, kind of feel like it's worth it to be in there. No. I want to give you 10 to 100x more value in exchange for what you give to me for being in there. So for the people in Rumble today, let's do a raid. Let's do a little raid today. Hopefully, we tried this yesterday, but there was no good streams on that we wanted to raid. Who's this? I thought that was Natalie Brunette, but it's not. Haley. Huh. Hey, we are the top show today in finance and crypto. Nice. Heck yeah. On Rumble. How many Bitcoiners on Rumble yet? If they were smart, they would be. Hey, let's go see Mel K. Let's check out Mel K. We love Mel K. I shouldn't say we do. I do. I like Mel K. Okay, so here we go. Let's give a little raid over there to all my friends over in Rumble. Let's go raid Mel K. Raid. To everybody else, we're going to be going live in about. Oh, sorry, I missed a couple here. Lord's Champion said Bitcoin so wants you to be an independent energy producer. The network literally incentivizes and rewards you to do so. Amen to that. That's somebody who understands what's happening here. Bitcoin so wants you to be an independent energy producer. I love that. I love that. And Spalus says 1 sat equals $1. That's how this whole visionary school community was based around. Is that we, without knowing like the old world, new world thing, the whole idea of the original community that we have was, it was called living in the future. where it didn't really matter what the world was telling us. We knew that 1 sat is $1, and it's going to play out. It just hasn't happened yet. So we were kind of premature on the whole old world, new world thing. We were living in the future. That's what the community was called, which has now turned into the Visionaries community, which is the same kind of thing, same idea, but much more resources in there, a much bigger community. There's almost 400 people in there now. And it's just a great place because Bitcoin can be a lonely path, a lonely journey on your own. And so this gives you the support you need. And I think a lot of people are looking for that. So we're growing even in a bear market. It's amazing. And that's it. So yeah, check out Maple in about an hour and a half from now, Maple Bitcoin with Forrest Rajat and myself. And yeah, thanks everybody. Big shout out to Jenny and Robert today for the Satoshi hat tricks. Big thank you to Letha for the fattest zap on this Fat Zap Friday today. And to everybody else, Mark with a big one, Maria with a big one, Robert, Sharon, Captain. Sharon had some big zaps today. Jenny, of course, David T, Sharon B was all over the place today, zapping and fiat zapping. So that's what I got for you today. Big shout out to the Rednecks, the Visionaries, and to Jenny Legendary for her birthday this weekend. So happy birthday, Jenny. I hope you have a great Friday, great weekend, and an amazing birthday. And unfortunately, I won't be able to have a live on that day, but we'll be thinking about you. I'm sure we'll get to chat in the communities and the Signal chat. So that's it. That's all. If you're watching on Rumble, let's go give Mel K a raid right now. And we'll see everybody in about half hour. No, hour and a half. Sorry, hour and a half. All righty. I think we've raided. Yes, we have. Okay. We'll see you over there. We'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.